Hi, I'm Michelle Masters. In 2006, when they asked me to create a 2-day workshop around money, I didn't know anything about money. I mean, I knew that you needed it for, people wanted it for food and rent, but that was about it. But what I did know about was what keeps people stuck and what lets people change. That's the work that I do. And so I designed a workshop that was all designed around changing the automatic patterns that were keeping people stuck into automatic patterns that would let people have more of what they want. And I focused those all on money. So what I created was not a course on stock tips or investing. I don't have any stock tips. And even if I did, it probably wouldn't help. Because here's the thing. Most of the things that keep us stuck are not conscious. They're not things we're doing or not doing consciously. They're unconscious. Because if they were conscious, you would have changed it. Nobody just stands out in the street and throws their money down the gutter. And metaphorically, that's what a lot of us do. The things that cause us to do that, though, are unconscious. And it's really hard to change unconscious behaviors. But that's what these change patterns are so good at, is finding out what the unconscious patterns and beliefs are that are in the way, and then changing those. Because if you don't change those, even if I gave you great stock tips, you'd probably find a way to lose that money, or get sued, or have something else come up. We've all heard stories about people who got a lot of money and then their lives blew up in one way or another, or athletes or performers who make a lot of money and then blow their lives up. Because the money changed briefly, but the unconscious patternings didn't. So the way to get really effective change is to change the unconscious patterns that are creating the experience you don't want into something that creates the experience you do want, without you having to remember to be different, to try to be different. And that's what these change patterns that are in Money Magic do so well. We all think that we know what we believe, and rarely do we know what we believe. There's things that we say we believe, but if you want to know what you really believe, look at your life. Look at what happens in your life, the kind of people that are in your life, the kind of work that you do, the kind of experience you have around money. That is actually what shows up in your life is a reflection of what you believe. Maybe not consciously, but unconsciously. And I tell you, most of what we believe is unconscious. Consciously, you can pay attention to, research says, somewhere between 5 and 9 things at a time. Unconsciously, your brain is processing over 1 million things per second. So most of what is determining our experience in our life is unconscious. So when that starts to change, to be in line with what you consciously want, with what you know you want, then it's amazing. Then miracles, it feels like miracles happen. I know when I was designing this class, I tried all the change patterns out on myself just to make sure they didn't cause any unsightly bloating or cramping or anything unwanted. And then I did the class. And the next time it came time to do the class again, I thought, it feels like I've made more money. I didn't try, but I looked and my income was up 66%. And that was just the first time. And I have so many stories from clients over the years. We have more testimonials. We're blessed with so many more testimonials than we know what to do with. Because when you change the patterning that's in the way, someone's life changes in ways they can never imagine or predict. In fact, people tell me all the time, I didn't even realize I'd made more money until I did my taxes and my income had doubled. Because it didn't feel like they did anything differently. And that's the beauty of doing this kind of work, to transform the things that you probably don't even know are there, that are keeping you stuck, into things that create the experience you want. You might take a minute and think about the trajectory you're on around money. Just kind of how's it been up till now? Where does it look like you're heading, both with money and time? Because a lot of people trade their time for money. To make more money, they think they have to work harder or longer. This is a really common belief. So you might just check if the trajectory you're on now continues with both money and time. Is that where you want to go? Is that the experience you want? Because if it is, then great. Everything's working just how you want it. But if it's not, then there is a possibility to change that. You can change those patterns that are creating what you don't want into what you do want. And then the things that you want start happening and showing up in your life in amazing ways. So we've seen so many people get changes from this. We're so happy about all the changes that have happened. And we hope to be able to share that with other people. Somebody at a training once asked me, okay, so we know what the class costs, but what's the class worth? And I said, I don't know how to answer that. I said, we had a guy who took this class. He was making the money he wanted, but he never got to see his kids. And so from the class, he was able to make the same amount of money, but pick his kids up from school every day and have dinner with his kids every day. What's that worth? I don't know how to answer that. People will often say, oh, that's priceless. But sadly, we do put a price on that. We do put a price on time with our loved ones. We do put a price on our health. We put a price on our time. And those are a factor of these unconscious patterns and beliefs. And those it doesn't have to be that way. You don't have to choose between doing something you love and having money. You don't have to choose between having money and having a good life and friends and time. You don't have to choose. So if that's something you would like, if you'd like to revise those beliefs, if you'd like to change the things that are in the way, we'd be happy to have you join us. If you'd like more information, we have way more information on how things get stuck, beliefs in the reticular activating system, money and worth. We invite you to either join us or check out some of the materials because we'd love to have you. Because the better it gets for each one of us, the better it gets for everyone. Your experience affects those around you and vice versa. The freer we get, the happier and more prosperous each of us gets, the better we all get. So, hope to see you at a class. Please come join us soon.